Howdy. If Sony ever stops holding Bloodborne hostage and does get it a stable 60 FPS remaster or even a remake, there are some relatively small changes I would like to see, mostly focusing on mechanical and system changes. This was going to be one video, but I've decided to split it into a short series of smaller ones instead. With the introduction over, onto the first part. Frenzy. The Frenzy meter builds up, and then deals a whopping 75% damage to your maximum health. And there's no cooldown period, meaning the meter immediately begins to fill up again, reducing the time you have to recover and then engage in combat. If you don't have the healing items or expensive sedatives to spare, this otherwise unavoidable damage could be considered kind of bullshit unfair. And on top of that, you take additional unavoidable damage over time from the invisible frenzy-causing arrows, just to make sure it finishes you off. So even if we take into account that these are designed to make you not want to engage them with their frenzy on sight, I think this health drain takes it a little bit too far. The only saving grace is that these are placed in areas that are optional, or have ways of sneaking around to reduce exposure. There is one relatively damage-free strategy you can use on the Winter Lanterns, but it requires some practice to pull off. You can boost your frenzy resistance sufficiently to buy yourself some time, and then run up to them to bait out their grab attack, parry it with your gun, and then wait a moment for the riposte, so that the animation plays out at the same time that the frenzy procs, using the invincibility frames to avoid the damage, while dishing out decent damage yourself. And if you can somehow sneak up on them, you can also perform a backstab, though stealth doesn't work on the frenzy-causing entity that makes up their heads, making the blue elixir more pointless and the enemy even more unfair. Anyway, there are a couple of simple options to choose from here. The first change is to give Frenzy a cooldown period before it can start building up again, kind of like with the poisons. Furthermore, curative items such as sedatives and antidotes could put their respective status ailments into that harmless cooldown phase, so they both cure the existing ailment and provide temporary immunity to it for the duration that they are still coursing through your system. This would give you a little more breathing room when killing Winter Lanterns, exploring Miyazaki's infamous poison swamps, and improve your ability to preempt these hazards rather than just react to them. This change shouldn't be too strong because Bloodborne introduces much stricter limits on how many items you can carry. Also, as a quality of life change, these should automatically restock from your storage upon death or lantern use, like blood vials and silver bullets do. Currently you have to go back to the Hunter's Dream and do it manually. The second option to make Frenzy fairer is to change the lethality. First of all, do away with the guaranteed damage over time from these frenzy arrows. Next, instead of killing you outright if you have low enough health, Frenzy could just bring the player down to 1 HP, putting them into a frenzy while they try to deal with the dangerous situation. This would also tie into the Moon Presence's ability later on, that being a stronger version because it's instant and can't be resisted. Alternatively, there's some opportunity to play with the insight mechanic a bit more, having it change the amount of damage taken to be potentially more or less punishing, rather than just affecting the build-up speed via frenzy resistance.